A lot of things can happen during the day, and more often than not, most of those things are negative. When something negative happens, you allow it to govern your day. You let whatever happened to you decide how you're going to carry yourself out for the rest of the day. You told yourself that you were going to exercise, but then now you've woken up an hour late, so might as well exercise tomorrow. You told yourself you were going to do that thing, but then something negative happened, and now you're taking the rest of the day off. And I just think that this is so easy to do, and it's the weak thing to do. We all know that doing the easy things will never lead to any growth, and the point and the goal is always to grow. Whenever you're faced with a negative situation, you always have to change your perspective. You have to stop focusing on what's negative and focus on the task at hand, or focus on the positive aspect of whatever's going on. Or in fact, don't focus on the negative thing at all. A few nights ago, I was supposed to tutor a student, and for about 45 minutes before the lesson, I was trying to get my computer to work. My computer's from like 2005, so it's at the end of its life cycle. So I was trying everything I could. I was refreshing Chrome, closing it, restarting my computer. I even tried checking if there was an update for Chrome. And I don't know if you can update Chrome, but then I checked every single thing, but nothing was working. In the end, my Chrome crashed, and then my computer crashed, so I wasn't able to use it. And I felt like cancelling the lesson. I felt like going to sleep. It was 7:30 at night, and I was so ready to go to sleep. That's how you could tell I was defeated. I was so ready to go to sleep. But then I shifted my perspective from what was negative and my difficulties to what was really important, to tutor the student, to help him improve his physics. It's very easy to focus on the negative things and forget that there's a bigger task at hand. To forget that you probably have to help someone, and that someone's depending on you. Once I switched my perspective and stopped focusing on the negative things and rather focus on my student, everything became better. My mood was better. I was able to talk to him better. I was able to teach him. I was able to it was actually quite an enjoyable lesson. Probably my favorite tutoring lesson so far. That's an example of when I did the right thing. If I look at today I started off my TJ! I started off my morning and I was journaling about something that's very touchy, something that makes me very anxious. And this was the first thing I did. And I know I'm preaching that you should always switch your perspective, but today that's something that I failed to do. Ever since the morning, it's about 9 p.m. right now. Ever since the morning, I've been feeling anxious. I've been trying to change my perspective, and I've done it momentarily. It's worked for like 1 or 2 hours, but then I always shift back into that state of anxiety. The reason I'm telling you this is to show that I'm not perfect, to show that no one can be perfect and you can't expect yourself to be perfect. But you should always try and shift your perspective. Always try focus less on the negative things, less on the obstacles, and focus more on what you're supposed to be doing. And shift your TJ! And shift your perspective to the other person, because when you do that, you realize that what you're going through isn't even that bad. But I think we have to learn to shift our perspective. I have 2 distinct scenarios of where I shifted my perspective and one where I didn't. And my mood is completely different. I spent my whole day today anxious. But that day where my computer wasn't working and I felt like giving up and I changed and I focused on my student, I went to bed happy. Our lives could be so much better if we stop focusing on the negative things and rather focus on the positive things, or focus on what's actually important. Because most of the time what's important is not your problem. Your problem is just something that's distracting you from what's actually important. It's time that we take control of our lives. And the first way that we can do that is stop focusing on the negative things.